What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good day, and I hope you're having a good week as always. I just want to talk about what's going on with Facebook. I've been banned from monetization on my live streams, on my regular videos, and also the fan subscription that's been going on. There's been thousands of people in that. You pay $4.99 a month, and we do a private live stream. Apparently, they're trying to take that away from me too. So they're trying to completely gut my page 100% so I can't make any money. And more importantly than that, they're also taking away thousands of subscriptions. So this is an even bigger deal than just a normal demonetization, because if they were just taking out my ad revenue, that's one thing, which is not good. But then also just the fact that they've been telling me, Anomaly, come here and, build all your subscribers with us, and, we can build together, and, it'll be like a Patreon on Facebook. So I've been sending thousands of people to their platform. They've wiped it all out overnight with pretty much no explanation. The only explanation I got, excuse me, is that I've been fact-checked too many times. So we're going to talk about that. Unlike other users, I don't lie and I don't make up stuff. So a lot of times people get fact-checked and they're wrong, or, a lot of times the fact-checkers can be slanted. But unlike other pages, I've made multiple videos on the fact checkers. I have one where they fact checked my video 3 times. Every single one of them was wrong. I have at least 3 videos now where I explain the fact checkers. I debunk them. They've done nothing about them, and now they're just taking my money away. But I can't even say I'm surprised. I could act like I'm shocked, but I'm not shocked. This is not surprising. I know who these people are. I know what they're doing. I know what their political agenda is. I know what their social agenda is. I even know what their racial agenda is that they cover up and act like everyone else is racist. So I'm on to them, and I'll be fine. But I'll just let you guys know, I'm just going to post this right here. If you'd like to support, I have a Patreon, a donor box, and whatever. And most importantly, the hats. These are the new hats. They're coming out tomorrow. I'm going to have these hats in black and pink. I don't know if you can see through the hat. You can see, let me see. It's hard to see, I guess, because it's black, but it says God is great. These are going to be the new hats, the black and the pink. So I'll let you guys know, but they'll be out tomorrow. Someone said, I love you, but get a job. I'll be fine. Trust me, bro. I'm not worried about it. I have things to do, but it's like, I'll take your job. What do? Are you a construction worker or something? I'll take your job and be like, go get a new job, bro. Here, let me just smash your machine, or let me just smash your house that you've built for 5 years and be like, just get a new one, bro. It's fine. Of course, I'll be fine. I'll work around it, but it's like, all right, I'll calm down. I'll drink my coffee. Let's relax. No worries, folks. This is who they are. Someone said if the Democrats win, I'm out of here for good. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about it. And we could probably chat about the debate a little bit. I'll stay and answer questions. Someone said I wish I could do more. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I'm good. I don't like getting the comments and messages when people are like, I'm a single mom, times are tough. It's fine. Everything I've ever posted is optional. I make that pretty clear. If you like the hats and the shirts, you could buy one. If you don't. If times are tough, don't worry about it. Just don't, I feel, it makes me feel bad when I get emails and stuff where people say, Anomaly, I'd love to do this, but, times are tough. I'll be fine. I'm always fine in general, even before this and after this, it's okay. Just don't, I appreciate you telling me here, but don't email me and tell me that, everything I post is 100% optional. And I try to make that as clear as possible. Because even with the hats, I have fun selling them because I think it's kind of fun to own a product and sell it. I like to be a little salesman. But overall, it's all optional. It's not, that's why even in the last video I said, you can get a hat or you can get a shirt. Hopefully you'll look good in it. I don't know, maybe. I was just kind of joking, but it's like, hopefully you look good in it, but maybe you don't. Maybe I don't look good in it. I don't know. It's all subjective. All right, so I'll explain it real quick, and I don't want to harp on it too much because this stuff gets kind of stale, but I'll just explain in layman's terms. No, I'm just kidding. But I'll explain what happened in general. I woke up this morning and I always check my monetization and just see what's going on, partially just to see what's, just check the numbers, but also just to make sure that they didn't delete my page or something. And I woke up this morning and everything's demonetized. They went further than I thought they would ever go. I didn't even know it was possible to go as far as they went this morning. They took away my there's stars on live stream where you could tip me. That always happens. Those are gone. So that's now I can't make any money on live streams. That's fine. And then they took away my ad revenue. So if you ever see an ad on my video, that was good for me. Very good. It was most of my income was the ad revenues because I'm getting millions of views a week. So that's gone. And even crazier, which I really didn't think they were going to do, but they did, was took away my fan subscriptions, which is super evil, which is super unjustified. I mean, I'm definitely going to seek legal counsel because I can't, I'm sure they have some sort of loophole where they can do it, but I've been building thousands of subscribers through Facebook, like Patreon. You get $5 a month or whatever. We've had a fun thing where we do live streams every month. It was a blast. I was giving away free stuff, and they took that away as well. So with no warning, no message, no nothing, no violations, no strikes, none of that. I don't do anything. I'm not hate speech. Every single fake thing that they would try to make up to delete my page or to take away my money, they've never been able to do because I've really never done anything. Before this time, they banned my live streams for a month over the most ridiculous thing. It was a 2018 post, so 2 years ago, where I posted an imam talking about getting along with Tommy Robinson and having a discussion. I thought it was nice to see two people have a discussion, but apparently not. Apparently that's hate speech now. So we live in an Orwellian world where me posting a Muslim imam who gets along with a white Christian, that is like in 2007, that's like a normal, just like hippie post that every hippie's posting. But now that's banned my live streams. And today they took away all my ad revenue, all my fan subscriptions over the fact that they said I got fact checked too many times. That's the reason they gave me. They said your account's been fact checked too many times. Well, here's my question. I have a connection at Facebook. I'm sure they'll probably ignore me. They don't want to talk to me because they have nothing to say. My question is, first of all, how many of those fact checkers were even accurate? So I did a parody video where I wore a mask and it was a comedy video, literally like the same thing that SNL does, the same thing that Comedy Central does. I'm funny. So I made a comedy video and they fact checked that video 3 times. I've never been fact checked so much in my life. And it was over a comedy video. And I made a whole video on it. The craziest part about that was not only was it a parody comedy, but every single thing that they fact checked me for, I didn't even say. So they're just like having either a bad employee or bad artificial intelligence scanning my video. And they're like, well, you said this. And all 3 of the fact checks were things I never even said. And even if I did say them, it's a parody video. But so that's 3 fact checks that they gave me, 3 strikes apparently. That made absolutely no sense. If we took this to court, if this was a way to do it, and the judge looked at it, he would be like, Anomaly never said any of those things. And then on top of that, it was a parody video. But it's like 0 for 3. They were wrong about every single one. So now I lose all my income, all my fan subscriptions. They've completely gutted everything I've built on the financial end of Facebook over their own incompetence. Every single fact check they've given me has been false. They fact checked my Bill Gates talking about, viruses video, and they were so false. I called them out on it. I emailed them. And they changed their own fact checkers. So I'm so factual that when I say, hey, let's put my facts against your facts, because in my videos, I'm very honest. If I don't know what I'm talking about, I tell you I don't know what I'm talking about. I cite New York Times. I cite Washington Post. I cite CNN. I don't even cite Fox News that much. I cite all their own news sources. I cite all the liberal news sources to show them, you said it. You can't say it's me. It's not Breitbart. It's not Fox News. You said it. You said it. You said the trees were dead in the forest, not Alex Jones, not Donald Trump, you. So then I post it, and then they fact check me, and then I call them out, and then they have to fix their fact checkers because their fact checkers are liars half the time. And I actually say, here's what I know, here's this, I'm open to it, let me know what you think, and they're always wrong. So I asked them via email, I said, name one fact checker on my video, since you just stole all my money. Name one fact checker. One fact checker where I was wrong, I was factually incorrect, and you were factually... Name one. They're not going to be able to name one. It's like Biden at the debates last night. Trump said, oh, I have all these police people who support me. And Trump said to Biden, name one. Name one police fraternity. Name one police, community that supports you. And Biden didn't say anything. You know why? Because he doesn't have any. If he had one, he would name it. It's the same with them. Name one. So they couldn't get me on hate speech because I'm not hate speech. Half my audience is Hispanic. I have people from Africa, Ireland, all over the world, and I'm not hateful. I'm less hateful than their own media. I'm less hateful than Don Lemon and Anderson Cooper put together. But don't put them too close together, because, no, I'm just kidding. But is that hate speech because I'm funny? They couldn't get me on that, so they said I got fact-checked too many times. And all of their fact-checkers have always been wrong with me, because I don't make mistakes. I don't really make that many mistakes. And if I do, I correct myself. But it doesn't happen when I make my videos, because I spend a lot of time making sure I don't make mistakes. So I don't even know the last time I got fact-checked. Maybe the last time I got fact-checked was the mask parody video, where they fact-checked it 3 times and all of them were wrong. They're allowed to take away my money. But this is who these people are. And this year, I don't, you know, if you want to support, I have Patreon, I have Donor Box, I have the hats. I'm sure all 3 of those will try to take it away like a Bolshevik revolution style communist takeover, but whatever. This year, if you see what they're doing, they're consolidating power. So they shut down your business, they shut down a mom and pop shop, they force everybody to use Amazon, Facebook. You know, there's only a few places to go because everything was shut down. So everybody's on Facebook, everybody's watching television, high fructose corn syrup commercials, you know, just the whole 9. Soda commercials, you're tuned in to what they're doing. You can't tune out. There's nowhere else to go. You can't, someone said, make your own Facebook. You can't make your own Facebook. BitChute tried to make a YouTube, and they're saying they're a bunch of anti-Semites, and they're trying to use that as justification to shut BitChute down. So if you make your own Facebook, they'll find a reason to shut you down. They'll give you double standards that they don't even hold to themselves and use it as a justification to shut you down. So they funnel everybody to Facebook. They funnel everybody to Amazon. They take away people's small businesses. They take away their money. And as soon as they get power, they do what communists have always done, and socialists and authoritarians, which is start shutting down dissenting voices. And they use this pandemic not only to consolidate power, but also to use justification to put fact checkers on Facebook. They've never really done that as much, but now they have the World Health Organization, which is a global organization that wants to take over really the world with their own worldview. They have a totally different worldview than President Trump. The American people put President Trump in office. President Trump's our president. He has a more nationalism, America first, let's focus on ourselves, let's stop bombing other countries, let's get along with North Korea and Russia, let's try to make it work, let's establish world peace and get our factories back. That's Trump's worldview, but Facebook doesn't like it, Twitter doesn't like it, Google doesn't like it, the UN doesn't like it, the communist, sneaky, global pope doesn't like it. So all of them start working against him, and they start running out of room because they're losing a lot of people. So then, this year, conveniently, the economy gets destroyed, and now they make Trump look bad. The whole debate yesterday was about COVID-19. Trump killed everybody. Imagine Obama or Biden was president. Who could do anything about COVID-19? If Trump doesn't shut down the economy, he's selfish, he's greedy, everybody died. If he does shut down the economy, look, your economy's bad. This is the worst economy ever, and you killed people. So there's nothing any president on the planet could have done, but what a convenient pandemic that they could blame Trump, consolidate power, start putting China communist level authoritarianism all over the place, and on top of that, start to use as justification to censor and take away. So they started with the fact checkers, and the fact checkers are like, I said Chris Wallace, who total con man. Chris Wallace is the human form of a fact checker. He's literally the human form of a Facebook fact checker. He sits there, he tries to act middle of the road and reasonable. He's 85, 90% against Trump. He believes in Biden's worldview. He believes in the UN's worldview. He believes in the liberal and the Democrat worldview. And he sits there and holds Trump to double standards that he doesn't hold Joe Biden to. And the double standards are just getting so big, I'm just going to keep calling them out, especially because they just took my money. What's the point anymore? So with Trump, he's debating Trump. He's not even debating Joe Biden. He's just debating Trump as if he's Joe Biden. He did a better job debating Trump than Joe Biden did, because Joe Biden doesn't know anything. He just says, you're bad, you killed everybody, you're horrible, vote for me. He doesn't even have a worldview. I'm against the Green New Deal. Go to Joe Biden's website, fact check, go to his website. On his website, he supports the Green New Deal on his own website. So he lied right on stage. And you can go to joebiden.com under his environmental policy, and you can see Green New Deal there. I did it last night. Did Chris Wallace fact check Joe Biden? No. Did Chris Wallace fact check Joe Biden on his son? No. Oh, my son Bo is such a good son. No one was talking about Bo. We were talking about Hunter Biden, and then he's twisted into Trump hates the military, he hates my military son. Nobody's talking about your military son, and I believe, you might want to fact check this, But I believe, I'm not even going to say it, but Hunter did something much worse to Bo than Trump did. You could look into that, but in general, he doesn't fact check Biden on that, and nothing. He just fact checks Trump, but when he's fact checking Trump, he's not even doing the right thing. He's doing what he thinks is true. I know what Facebook thinks is true. I know what Twitter thinks is true. I know what Chris Wallace thinks is true. I know what the UN thinks is true, and I want to debate it. I want to sit here and say, here's what I think. Let's have a discussion. But this is their way of discussing. They censor, they fact check, they have double standards, and now they've pushed the fact checker on Facebook as a means to shut people down who are questioning things they don't want them to question. Where did the virus come from? Don't question that. It's not settled science. The founder, or the discoverer rather, the man who discovered HIV, Luc Montagnier, Nobel Prize winning scientist, he thinks the virus was man manipulated. I didn't say that. He said it. So I made a video not even talking about this one, but saying there are man-made viruses. That's a fact. And then I get fact-checked and they said, well, this didn't happen. That's a straw man argument. I never said that happened. I said, this is true. There's a video of Bill Gates years ago who said one of the biggest threats to humanity is a man-made terrorist virus. That's Bill Gates' words. So when this first came out, I did what every journalist should have done. And I said, I just did an expose and I said, man-manipulated viruses are real. I didn't say this one was, but I said, here's what I know. Here's what's out there. This is true. I'm not talking about it. And then they said, well, this virus isn't this. First of all, my video never said that. But second of all, you don't even really know that because you're not really looking. What you're doing is stopping anybody from saying that. So Chris Wallace is just the, human form of a Facebook fact checker. Just completely biased, completely one-sided, lets the left wing do whatever they want, makes excuses, becomes a PR team for them, and then uses that as a justification to cover up my videos, and then uses as a justification to take away my revenue. You would be sick to your stomach if you know how much money I lost on Facebook, and it's disappointing because obviously I haven't been doing that well that long. I don't care, I'll get over it, but I wanted to really save up money for the next year or two because with this type of stuff, nothing's guaranteed. I'm 30 years old. I don't have health insurance through work. I do everything independently. I don't have a 401k. So I was really hoping to save up all the money I'm making on Facebook, put it in my bank account, and not be broke when I'm 50, 60 years old. I mean, I'll be fine anyway. I'm a hustler. So, I'll make money in general. But you would be sick to your stomach if you know how much money they just took away from me overnight. No warning, no reason. Their reason's a lie. Their reason is you got fact-checked too many times by our fact checkers. I've gone individually through every single time they fact-checked me, and I've disproven it on video. And those videos have millions of views. I said, here's your fact check. Here's what I said. I never even said that. Here's what you said. Let's fact-check what you said. You don't even know what you're saying. You're just saying, hey, don't look there. Don't click there. You should be scared. I don't know what I'm talking about. My name is Molly from USA Today. They paid me $70,000 to be a communist or to be an authoritarian sneak who just covers up other people's content who make things that I can never make. That's all you're saying. You're like, well, here's what we know. They're so dumb at USA Today when they fact-checked my video. They used a scientist from Rutgers. I forget his exact name, but he's a big virologist from Rutgers. And they said, well, he said this. And that own scientist says that he believes, he himself disbelieves what they said in their own article. So they're like referencing virologists from Rutgers who literally said the opposite of what they're saying in their fact check. It's like, these people are so sloppy. They could never be me. And that's why they're mad. They went to school. They went to journalist school. They decided to be a liar. They decided to be an establishment shill. They decided to be, a total sellout. And they see somebody like myself, and why are they really mad at me? What are they really doing to me? They're mad. I'm outperforming everybody else. I get it. This is what happens when a middle-class kid, somebody who was, literally poor most of his adult life, had no money, got no help from his family, had no, lawyers or fancy industry people, takes his cell phone and creates a dynasty that's bigger than CNN. I'm getting big, maybe not bigger financially or literally, but as far as Facebook, I'm doing bigger numbers than New York Times. Every day, every week, I'm outperforming them on the link posts when they post their data public. Washington Post, all of the left-wing media outlets, Rachel Matt, nobody cares about them. They pay them millions of dollars, and here I am, a kid who came from nothing with a cell phone, who edits and works hard 10 times as hard as your whole staff. That's why they're upset, because I'm crushing them, because everybody's crushing them, because nobody likes them. And I work harder and I do better work. So they have the right to steal my money and fact check my articles with stupid things that well, this is what I say. Yeah, no one cares what you said. I know what you say. We know what you said. That's why I'm employed, or I employed myself, because we don't believe you. And I have proof to not believe you, and I don't even have to go to Fox News. I could go to New York Times 2 years ago, and they told the truth. And now they don't. It's such a joke. But that's what's going on. People say, keep doing what you're doing. I'm not going to stop. I'll be fine, and I'll adapt. I'll figure it out. But, yeah, it's sickening how much money they just stole from me. But it's okay. I'll get over it. And if you were a Facebook supporter, I guess you can go to Patreon. But they could just delete my Patreon, too. I mean, hopefully they don't. But this is the type of stuff that they do. And, you know, for certain people, they've taken away their bank cards. They've taken away their PayPal. I don't think they're going to go that far for me. But they don't even have a single reason. Every single fact check they've gotten is wrong. They're 0 for 6. And I haven't even been fact checked for a while. And I'm just going to call out some more hypocrisy from Chris Wallace. You guys know me here. I'm not a really racial guy. I'll tell the truth. I'll tell people, you know, there's systemic racism. I'm like, for sure. You know, most organizations and colleges are racially, you know, discriminating against white people and Asians. They say they pay a diversity manager $100,000 a year. I'm a diversity manager. All that means is somebody's coming into the company to say, we should have less white people here, more feminists, more gay people, more black and Hispanic and Native Americans, and less white people. That's what diversity is. So I don't even talk about race that much, my race, other people's race, but I do make jokes and comment on what's going on. But I do have to call out the double standards and the hypocrisy from Chris Wallace. So last night, obviously, in the streets, you could see Los Angeles, Seattle, Portland. Left-wing terrorists and insurrectionists are lighting fires to federal buildings. They're lighting fires to police precincts. They're blocking traffic in most major cities. They're committing terrorism on a daily basis. And Chris Wallace sits up there and tells Trump to condemn militias and white supremacists, as if that's the huge threat right now. He says, you know, he doesn't tell Joe Biden to condemn Antifa or Black Lives Matter for doing what they're doing on a way bigger scale right now. He tells Trump, like a Facebook fact checker, a one-sided left-wing PR team operative, to condemn white supremacy. But here's the big hypocrisy with that. Chris Wallace, you can see the interview with his father, Mike Wallace. He interviews Morgan Freeman, and he says to Morgan Freeman, you should have a Black History Month. And Morgan Freeman says, Black History Month I find ridiculous. And Mike Wallace, Chris Wallace's father, says, why? And Morgan Freeman says, well, I find it ridiculous because I'm an American. I'm not black. Like, black history is American history. I think black history is ridiculous. And he says to Chris Wallace's father, Mike Wallace, he says, do you want a White History Month? And what does Mike Wallace say? If you watch that viral clip, you can find it somewhere. Morgan Freeman on Black History Month. He says, Mike Wallace, do you want a White History Month? And Mike Wallace says, I'm not white, I'm Jewish. So Mike Wallace and Chris Wallace, they don't consider themselves white. They don't say, I'm white. No, they say, I'm Jewish, I'm not white. So you have a Jewish man on stage saying, condemn white supremacy. How much power do white people even have in this country? And you can't even say this or they'll take away the money that I don't have now that they've already taken away. His ethnicity, Jewish, has more power. Most media companies owned. You can't even say that. That's an anti-Semitism hate speech crime now. You know, a lot of Democrats, 50% of their funding comes from his ethnicity. So if I were to say, hey, Mike Wallace, you should condemn Jewish supremacy, I would be kicked off of every social media. They'd close down my bank account. They'd close down my PayPal. They'd call me all these sort of names and say, but he could sit up there and totally scapegoat an enemy that has, or a group of people who has no power systemically, no power in banking, no power in the media, no power and barely any power in politics. Literally everybody's beholden to like other countries and pharmacy companies, and just give Biden a pass on Antifa and Black Lives Matter. This is what they do all the time. This is the same story on loop. Black Lives Matter can go out and destroy property. Antifa can go destroy property because they have a cute name. We're against fascism. We believe in black lives, so we can commit terrorism. But your skin color alone makes you a supremacist, even though my people have more power. But we're just going to blame everything on you, and we're just going to act like we're middle of the road when we secretly aren't. It's the same story on loop. It's the same joke over and over again. And I'm tired of the double standards and the hypocrisy. So it's like he gets on stage, tells Trump to condemn something that's not doing virtually anything in this country, they get off scot-free every time with their political operatives and their political movements that are literally creating terrorism in the country, and they scapegoat everything on a race that they don't consider themselves. It's all your fault. What if I said it's your ethnicity's fault? Then you get destroyed from everything because it's not true. It's like, you're so not true, we're going to take away all your money. We're going to fact check you and take away all your money. Does that prove I'm wrong? No, it just proves you're a liar. It just proves you want to steal everyone's money. You want to shut down their pages. You want to control everything, control the media, control the banks, control all the institutions, control most corporations, and then close the walls on everybody and say, you can't say this, 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 as they're getting more violent. We're not getting more. He says, Trump, condemn your followers on election day. Whether Trump wins or Joe Biden wins or it takes 3 months for the results to come in, it's going to be left-wing terrorists out in the street committing terrorism, just like they've done all year, blocking traffic, starting fires, causing chaos. So do they have to talk about? Of course not, because the standards are not normal. So that's what they do. They take away your money, they take away your speech, take control of everything, and then close the walls as they attack you, as they threaten you, as they literally want to kill you simply for being a Trump supporter or a conservative or somebody with lighter skin. And then you can't even defend yourself. That's what it becomes. We can attack you. We can burn things. We can destroy this country. We can be vicious. We can be mean. We can be rude. We can steal your money. We can destroy the economy. But if you simply even defend yourself or tell the truth in a calm, reasonable manner, you're the bad guy. That's what they do. And it's the same story on loop. So I'm not even remotely surprised at all that they're taking my money, because this is just to be expected. So I'll figure out what I'm doing, but it's tough when, a few corporations control everything. But I get it. I understand. I was never supposed to have this much power or this much attention or this much, traffic, because they can't figure it out. They're like, we have all the money, all our media companies, we have Rachel Maddow, we have CNN, we have New York Times, Washington Post, now this, they have everything, and they still can't beat me. They're like, why is he winning with a cell phone? Is it because I'm more honest, more accurate, more friendly, more reasonable, harder worker, better videos, I fact check better than you? It's a lot of reasons. So when they can't win, they just have to steal. Well, let's just steal his money then. Let's just destroy his page. And then we're number one. Look, we're the biggest building in the world. Yeah, because you knocked down every other building. Yeah, you're the biggest one because you've taken out everyone else. Congratulations. You're the king of nothing. You're the king of a broken society and a broken country and a rigged internet. I get it. So I'll be seeking legal counsel, but regardless, it's fine. They could take my money. They could steal all my fan subscriptions. They could remove my live stream tips. But I won't back down. I won't stop. I'm not going to give up or get quiet. I'm just gonna double up and triple up, and I'm used to the devil's tricks. I'm gonna read some comments now. I appreciate you guys. If you want to support our Patreon, donor box, and dreamrare.com. These are the new hats. I don't know if you can see. Let me see. Yeah, it's hard to see the stitching, but it's a little. It doesn't look that good there because they put it in hard, but it says God is great. So I'm gonna have. I heard you guys wanted black hats, so tomorrow black hats and pink hats are going up on dreamrare.com. You can get the God is great hat, and I'll show you a better picture with it flipped around. I'm sorry that the screen is flipped. It's all good. I'm gonna answer some questions now, but. Appreciate you. Thank you, Angela. No worries. Thank you, Jeff. I'm gonna say this too as questions come in, I'll answer them. I'm very grateful. Obviously, revenue's great. I don't want to be poor. It's nice to make money doing what I'm doing. But the thing that I'm really most grateful for is the fact that even in this time, I feel like David versus Goliath. You have all the tech companies against me, the media's against me, celebrities are against me, most powerful people in this world are against me. And I was able from scratch, from nothing, literally no manager, no label, no anything, no corporation, literally just really hard work. I was able to get my message out there, so that they could never take away from me. You could take my money, they could even do worse than that. And I'm grateful that I've been able to get my message and a true message out to hundreds of millions of people. My videos have 600 million views. I'm pushing towards 1 billion views. Eventually, I'll probably hit 1 billion views. That is amazing. That money can't buy. So that's the most important thing. And I'm very grateful that it's had that big of an impact. And that's why they're pissed off, because 600 million people have seen my videos. And most people are reasonable. Thousands, probably tens of thousands, probably millions. Millions of people have had a mindset shift for the better. More grateful, more appreciative, more understanding, less indoctrinated by the media, less likely to sit on the couch and, drink high fructose corn syrup and take their pharmacy pills. And that's why they're mad. So even though today some could consider a tragedy, I'm still very grateful, and I'm still very appreciative that it took them that long to do this. It's all good. I'm pumped I started selling hats last month too, because I'll be able to, once they take this much money, you would be sick if you knew how much money it was, but it's okay. I'll figure out other platforms. And I don't know. I feel like it's just the next chapter, It's the next chapter. Thank you, Connie. All right, I'll answer some questions. I'll hang out for like 30 minutes or so. Someone said, so Joe didn't have to condemn Antifa, got to call them an idea. Guys, it's a joke. Chris Wallace is like a Facebook fact checker. He's totally one-sided. He lets Joe Biden lie, factual lies. They'll never fact check him. They don't care. And this is what people need to understand. And I've really figured out who these people are and what they're doing. That's why they're probably extra pissed, because the more I read, the more I learn, the more I know, and the more they're going to call it hate speech. But these types, the Chris Wallace types, the Joe Biden types, the Democratic Party, these Antifa people are not a threat to the Democratic Party. They're not a threat to Joe Wallace, or whatever his name is, Chris Wallace. Communism is very similar to what the Democratic Party wants to do. The communists and the socialists on the street, the Bernie Sanders supporters, the Antifa, they think they're fighting the system. They think they're fighting Joe Biden. They think they're fighting CNN and the media. But really, they're using them as useful idiots, because these are the people, they like that. Why did Chris Wallace not condemn Joe, or tell Joe Biden to condemn Antifa? Because they support Antifa. They think it's fine. If you go to the origins of when Antifa was funded and who it was founded by and why they created it and how it happened, it's the same story on loop. So they support these people. They support Antifa. They support Black Lives Matter. They have no problem with the terrorism, obviously, or else they would talk about it more and they would make it a focal point, because I'm not a fan of white supremacists who are out hurting other people who aren't white, but that's something that really doesn't happen that much in this country. I mean, it's the left-wing terrorism that is a huge problem, probably 100 times the problem of white supremacy, and on a systemic level, there is no white supremacy. A lot of the people who everybody thinks are white, that own everything, are like Chris Wallace and his father, Mike Wallace. They look white, everyone thinks they're white, but when you call them white, they say, I'm not white, I'm Jewish. They're Jewish people who prioritize their own ethnicity over other ethnicities, while they can tell everybody else that they're doing that. Most white people have no white pride. Most white people don't care about their heritage or their ethnicity. Meanwhile, Chris and Mike Wallace do, and they'll call everyone else supremacist, but God forbid you turn the tables on them, they'll freak out and call you an anti-Semite and use, a bunch of these organizations to come shut you down and steal your money. So, it's double standards when it comes to Democrats. It's double standards when it comes to different ethnicities. If you're a black or Hispanic, I'm part Hispanic. Where's the systemic racism? It's against white. If I go into a company and say, hey, I'm a white guy, I'm less likely to get a job, because they're all hiring anti-white diversity trainers who are looking for non-whites. If I go in because I'm part Hispanic and I say, hey, I'm Hispanic, what's up, man? And I'm just kidding, but like, what's up, man? I'm Hispanic. Then I get the job. Then they're like, oh, we need more Hispanics. We're so diverse. It's like, they're not, the diversity means anti-white. They're not looking for diversity. They would rather have 100% black and Hispanic than 30% white. This is who these people are. So I'm mixed. I know where the privilege is. It's not in the white side. There is no white systemic privilege. There's only white systemic racism. And there is no white supremacy all over the place or anything. most of the people who own it are Jewish. That's why they won't let you say it. They say it's hate speech to suggest that they own anything. It's like, just use Wikipedia. Anytime you see something off or anytime you see somebody doing something, just Wikipedia and go to early life or personal life and look what heritage they are and see if they're white or not. And that's up to you. It's like, I'm hateful because I use Wikipedia and I know that white people don't have that much ownership and power in this country. Neither do Christians. I mean, there's a few sneaky megachurches, and then Trump calls them sneaky because they are. The megachurch pastors who have a bunch of private jets, and they say, Trump hates Christians. He's turning against Christians. No, Trump said that pastors with private jets are sneaky because they are. It's like, I'm a Christian, but I have no problem calling out a pastor who has 20 jets. It's like, I don't know that Jesus Christ wanted him to fly so much, but maybe he thinks that. It's up to him. I don't have to like the Pope. I'm not anti-Catholic, so these are the games that they play. I don't care. I'll answer a few questions, though. But with condemning Antifa, they support Antifa. They want this all to happen. They destroy everything. They destroy your private property, and then the big businesses buy it up. So the more they destroy, the more they run people out, the more the bigwigs will buy up the stuff, and the more control they'll have. And they're already cracking down on the media side and using it all as a shield. So the double standards from Chris Wallace and Joe Biden are not random. This is all, there's a reason. And the more you understand the reason, the less surprised you'll be. That's my one, I won't even say critique, but there's a bunch of right-wingers on Twitter every day. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like Tim Pool every day is like, holy my God. Like he's like acting like he's surprised every day. No offense. It's just like, bro, none of this is shocking. They just stole most of my income overnight. Am I surprised? Do I look surprised? Oh my God, I can't believe they... No, of course they did this. I saw this coming a mile away. So it's like, the point I'm getting to is like, at a certain point, you're going to have to stop pretending to be surprised for like clicks or something. Or maybe you're just like a frantic person, but like, regardless, like none of this is surprising. Like none of it. Like literally they could start rounding people up tomorrow. I would be disappointed and concerned, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I don't think they're going to do that, but you get what I'm saying. It's like at a certain point, people are going to have to stop acting surprised by this. It's not surprising. It's totally predictable. Someone said, I'm a Catholic and I believe the Pope is up to no good. Of course, and that doesn't make you anti-Catholic, but there's laws and rules in this world that if you say certain people are doing something, they won't let you say it. It's not because it's not happening, it's because it is happening, and they just don't want people to talk about it. And it doesn't make you hateful, it doesn't mean you hate everybody. That's the trick they do. Well, if you hate Black Lives Matter, you hate all black people. It's like, that's not true. If you hate Antifa, you're a Nazi. You like fascism. No, that's not true. These are the games that they play. Antifa, Black Lives Matter, they can call you a white supremacist all day as a non-white Jewish person, but if you say that they have power, they'll shut you down and say it's hate speech. These are the games that they play. There is no equality. The people who scream equality the loudest don't want equality. LeBron James doesn't want equality. If LeBron James was equal, he'd have no money. He'd have to share his money with the black community. He'd have to share it with Lisa Leslie in the WNBA, and he'd be broke, and he'd be poor, and no one would care about him. He gets treated like a king. That's why he calls himself King James. He doesn't want equality. These people in the media don't want equality. If they get equality, they scream anti-Semitism. If black left-wing activists get equality, they scream racism. So these people don't want equality. They think equality is a threat. If you got equal treatment in the workforce, or you got equal treatment with free speech, or you got equal treatment in the media, they would scream anti-Semitism and racism. They hate equality. The scariest thing to them is having to have an equal debate with people. You saying the same things they say, or you just being 20 times as honest as them and accurate and fair and reasonable. They hate that. They don't want equality. They want special speech laws, special privileges, special affirmative action, handouts, the system rigged in their favor in every single way, total power and control, and to call you a racist and an anti-Semite if you resist them doing it. Or say, I think this is unfair. I'm not a hateful person, but I'm starting to notice the double standards. It's like equality, they scream, they don't want equality. They can't handle equality. If they had equality, they would scream, oh my God, the fascists are coming. Oh my God, Nazi Germany's back. For literally trying to treat people equally. They can't handle equality. If Jewish or black, or I don't know about Hispanic, because I think Hispanic people don't really care that much, but if you treated Jewish and black like you treated white in this country and flipped the roles, and everybody who was talking about white people and white supremacy did that with black or Jewish people, Are you kidding me? They would say that there's concentration camps back, and they would say that this is like, a white supremacist takeover. They can't handle equality. They don't want equality. Equality is the biggest threat to these people. This is the left wing. We want equality, but if you even slightly treat us like we treat you, we're going to freak out and scream and destroy your life. They can't handle equality. Someone says some folks are more equal than others. It's a joke. The people who scream equality the loudest don't want it. They can't handle it. They couldn't for a day handle how they treat other people. And that's what's called a hypocrite. Someone said, is it true the Democratic Party started the KKK? Well, you can't talk about the true history because they'll delete it, but go to the History channel, history.com. You Google history.com, Democrats, KKK. In the 1800s, in the early 1900s, black people worked with the Republican Party. The first black senator was 1870 Republican. The first black Democratic senator was 1993. So who do you think the KKK was? If all the black people were working for the Republican Party and were Republicans, who was the KKK? Of course it was Democrats. They were pressuring Republicans and black people in scaring them and threatening them and violently attacking them into trying to make them into their ideology. So of course they were Democrats because there were no black people working for the Democrats and they were all working for the Republicans. How you think the Republicans would be attacking their own people they were hiring? Black people were literally voting for, Republicans were voting for black people in the late 1800s. And Democrats didn't vote one in until 1993 when it comes to the Senate. Fact check that. Look it up on Wikipedia. Someone said, you're on the right track. Oh, I know. It's okay. Someone said, my world history told me be careful when citing sources from history.com. Like, what? Well, yeah, I mean, Wikipedia, any website, you got to be careful. But the trick they do is, like, I say history.com because I think it's a website that accurately talks about the Democratic Party's involvement in the KKK. But you got to be careful with Wikipedia or anything. But the problem in schools, they say, don't believe this, believe this. So it's like really what they're trying to do is stop you from seeing it. Like, they want total control of information. That's why last night Joe Biden, when he was being questioned and when Trump talked about his son, Hunter Biden, he just said, that's a lie, that's a lie. That's all Joe Biden has to do. He doesn't have to talk about a game plan. He doesn't have to have a strategy. It's Trump killed people. Trump destroyed the economy. Trump's an evil man. Orange man bad. He hates everybody. He's a liar. Don't listen to him. That's all he has to do because he knows he can just go run to the basement and Facebook will start deleting his opposition. They banned me last night from doing stars on a live stream. They took away my stars last night and said, oh, it's a problem. It's a mistake with the company. And then this morning they take everything away. So it's like he knows he knows if he can just hide and just lie, he'll have a bunch of fact checkers protect him and he'll have the whole media protect him. So that's what they do. Don't look here. I'll just lie, and then we'll slowly swallow up the internet. We'll slowly delete our opposition. We'll slowly try to create a system where no one's allowed to disagree. This is communism, folks. This is exactly what they're doing. And they're so desperate. They're so desperate. If they win this election, it's going to get crazy. If they don't win this election, they're still going to try to take power. These people won't stop. There's crazy times ahead. Someone said, Joe didn't answer any critical questions last night. He doesn't have to. His job is Trump is bad. Trump killed people. He's a liar. He's a liar. Please believe me. Just hopefully you hate Trump enough that I look good. That's all it is. Trump has a vision for the country. Biden has no vision. And it's okay. Someone said the facts of the first black Republican are well documented. Yeah, I know, but they'll still try to cover it up. Do I have my own website? Save all your videos. I have all my videos are on BitChute as well, so they're on BitChute and they're on YouTube. But this is the problem, and this is what I'm telling you. Okay, where can you upload videos? I guess I could put them on my own website, but this is how ruthless these people are. Okay, so you have Facebook and YouTube. Everybody watches videos on Facebook and YouTube, right? Okay, so say like Plandemic, Judy Mikovits. Plandemic comes out and they're pissed off because Judy Mikovits is getting more views than Taylor Swift. Got 100 million views. So they delete it on Facebook and then they delete it on YouTube. Okay? So now it's gone. Now the video's gone. Now if you upload it to BitChute, say BitChute, they try to delete it off BitChute. You have the ADL, a Jewish organization, trying to go at people on BitChute. They're trying to take BitChute down under the guise of anti-Semitism to destroy BitChute. And then in certain people, when you make your own server or you make your own website, like an Alex Jones per se, they attack your website. They try to take your website down by going for your server. They try to attack HostGator or whoever's hosting your server. So they have unlimited ways to destroy you. Even if you make your own website, they could delete my website. They could tell the host website that I'm this horrible person and pressure them and lobby them to take away your hosting. There's a way to get around it, but it's like at a certain point, you got to jump through 1,000 hoops just to get around these people. I have my videos on YouTube, I have them on Facebook, and I have them on BitChute. And I'm writing a book, and my book will be physical, so you can buy one, and you could keep it, and you could hold on to my book so they won't burn it. So that'll be another option. But I have my videos everywhere I could have my videos. That's not going to stop these people from going after any of these individual websites. Someone said if they don't win, it'll be 4 more years of impeachment. If you want to be honest about what I think, I'm gonna read some stuff. Someone said you should hit the Trump campaign. I have options. I have 2 people trying to sign me right now. Newsmax wants me to do a television show. Next week I'm gonna have a contract with Newsmax. I don't know. I'm probably not gonna sign it, but I have an offer to be on television, so I'll be fine. I mean, it sucks though because I like being 100% independent. So if I ever sign anything with someone else, I gotta really read it and make sure they don't steal anything or take anything. But in general, I'll be fine. I'm not crying about it, but it's just unfortunate. But when it comes to this country and impeachment and 4 years, even if Trump wins, what's happening now is unsustainable. And if you want to be honest, I don't know because I wasn't there. I can only read books and watch documentaries. But from what I've read, and I'm starting to read from the source, this seems to be like exactly what happened in World War I and World War II. Before World War II, you had the Bolshevik Revolution. The Bolshevik Revolution was a Marxist-Leninist, or maybe Lenin wasn't there yet, or he was just getting there, but they were following the Communist Manifesto to destroy private property, raise progressive taxes, do all of these things that Karl Marx wanted to do. They tried to implement it in Russia and killed millions of people. So this happened in before World War II, and these people started getting crazier and crazier and crazier. The communists, the anti-fascists, they were wreaking havoc over Russia, and they were threatening to wreak havoc over Europe. So this all predated World War II. They're just killing millions of people. They're acting psychotic. They're going insane. They're destroying multiple countries. They force people's hand, in a sense, to either do this or just die. So with Trump, during his thing, Trump is not a fascist. Trump is not a Nazi. He's the furthest thing from a Nazi. It's literally insane. Trump could not possibly be more pro-Jewish. It's outlandish. But they still call him that. Trump is such a nice guy. He's such a reasonable leader. He's such a funny, strong guy, but he's not crazy or evil. So they're so evil. They're destroying major cities. They're destroying the country. They overhyped a pandemic to destroy like society as we know it. And they're going to just nonstop attack Trump and attack people and racially go after people in this country while claiming it's happening the other way for the next 4 or 5 years. And there's going to be 2 options. And I see it similar, unfortunately, to like World War II, where you have the rise of fascism, Nazism. I don't think Nazism is going to rise. That's long dead. But like, you have fascism, nationalism. These 2 people are authoritarianism. There's going to be no option because these people leave no option. We have a democracy. They don't believe it. They don't want to respect him winning. They don't want to respect anything. This year, they're trying to fact check and take over the media to the sense where you can't even say that the election might be rigged. This is not the same as absentee ballots. We've always had absentee ballots. We've never had universal mail-in ballots where in certain states they're not allowing you to vote in person and they're sending everybody a ballot at home. That's never happened. This is not the same as it used to be. So of course you should be able to talk about it, but they're lying and just messing this whole election up You got the results from Pennsylvania the night of the election in 2000. There's never been an election in my lifetime where you didn't get the results of the states the night of. The closest thing to it was when it was too close and they had to do a recount with Bush and Gore, and that was sketchy. But even that, they gave you the results and said it's too close to call. We've never had to wait 3 weeks for an election. This isn't the same. But they're trying to destroy our democracy. They've destroyed the media. They've destroyed the economy. They've destroyed our voting patterns. They've destroyed virtually everything, free speech in this country. What's going to happen? Either they're going to gain power and just start massacring people, or somebody like a Trump is going to get crazier and say stop. Unfortunately, these are the only two. I don't want this to happen, but when you go this crazy, like in World War I and then in World War II, when millions of people start getting slaughtered, things get real. I'm not saying that's going to happen right now, but the way these people are acting, only one side of politics condemns terrorism. Only one side of politics will admit it's going on. Meanwhile, they turn and try to blame it the other way. So, as far as Trump getting impeached and all this stuff, these people are psychotic. Either he puts some of these people in jail, either he gets crazier, or these people completely swallow up the country and we become a shell of what America once was and get completely taken over. And I don't wish for that to happen. I don't want it to happen. But logically, I just watch the way things are going. And I'm like, this is really the future of America. Someone said, never in my 60 years have I seen anything like it. It's unlike anything probably in modern history. But this is even probably different than then because, I would say during World War II, every country controlled their own media. Every country, controlled their own means of communication. Now you have Apple, Verizon, whatever, Samsung, Microsoft. They don't have that much power anymore, but, Facebook, Google. These people have more power than like the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire, even at its peak, didn't control the media everywhere. They couldn't even go everywhere. There's certain companies that control everything, and they're working hand in hand with the UN. They're working hand in hand with the Pope. They're working hand in hand with China. So this is even different than, this is going to be harder to get out of. Trump is really like the last ditch effort to reject this type of stuff. And look how they're acting. I feel like they know there's nothing he can do. Even if he wins, they're just going to ramp things up. He has to hold somebody accountable. There's no other way, unfortunately. So that's the irony of the anti-fascists is they don't stop fascism. They are fascists, and they create fascists because they act so insane. A normal democracy can't handle these people because half of our democracy is completely sold out, more than half. Someone said the conspiracy theories have become reality now. Well, the word conspiracy theory was always a bad attempt to stop critical thinking. So obviously there's fake theories all the time. Every day the news creates fake theories. All they do is conspiracy theories. They make up, you're a Russian bot. You're working with Russia. That's a conspiracy theory. That's suggesting you're doing something you're not. But the word conspiracy means two or more people doing something evil. So that's a conspiracy. Conspiracies happen every day. Every day, multiple men get together and conspire and do evil things. That's not even debatable. So the word conspiracy theory is just a way to get you to believe that only poor people are committing crimes. It's like only poor people can be evil. Like rich people can't be evil. So it's wealthy people trying to convince you that they could never be doing anything evil. The only evil happens on the streets when people kill each other, but not us. We could not be plotting. So it's always been real. It's just they don't want you to say certain things. It's the same as now. You're allowed to blame white supremacy because that's not really a threat. They want, and this all goes back to a certain ideology. This all goes back to religion. This all goes back to race. This all goes back to communism. In some senses, it goes back to certain people see certain people as a threat. So why do they blame white supremacy? Why are they allowed to blame white supremacy? Because they have no power in this. They have no power in corporate America. They have no power systemically. They have no First Amendment power. They have no banking power. They have very little media power. So the people who have the power see Europe and America as a threat. And this has been written since Karl Marx's manifesto. He's been planning and plotting, and so have people for hundreds of years, to destroy people who reject this stuff. I think they see Europe and America as a threat. If they can conquer Europe and America and get people who tend to, be Christian and conservative out of the way, then it's a lot easier to take over. Why do they... And this will be misconstrued by some people, and they'll be, oh, that's race. It's like, no. Who votes the biggest for Trump? It's all the people they try to take down. Why did they put out a military story against Trump? Because the military likes Trump. Why did the same Atlantic put out yesterday, Trump hates Christians? Because evangelical Christians vote for Trump. So they're trying to separate Trump from his base. They're trying to make the military hate Trump. They're trying to make Christians not like Trump. And they know Christians and white males are the biggest people who vote for Trump. That's just a fact, statistically. All out of the demographics, white males and evangelical Christians vote for Trump by the massive majority. So people think, oh, I'm fighting white supremacy. No, the people who control everything are trying to turn you against the only people who stand in the way of you and total control in the voter bloc. And they claim to like Hispanics so much. Wait till they find out that Hispanics are voting more conservative. They'll try to build the wall to the moon. They'll be like, the wall's not high enough now. We got to build it higher to the moon. It's like, we got to build it everywhere. We stop the flights. They want power by any means necessary. Joe Biden has no morals, no standards. What did he say last night? Nothing. You're a liar. You're bad. Please believe me. You hate my son. Like, it's all just like, please give me power. Please give me power. This is who these people are. They don't care if you're black. They don't care if you're white. They want power, and they know who's standing in the way of their power. Donald Trump and a few voter blocs. And as far as the world, there's a few countries that are a threat to them. They don't want Europe to revert back to, thinking about, keeping their country intact rather than letting it get taken over by a global cabal. Who is the UN, the EU? These are people who come in and say, you're all going to do what we want you to do. That's like someone coming into your house and being like, you listen to me now. This is not peaceful or equality. This is global people with an ideology of communism taking over. And I have a book under here, but it's called COVID-19, The Great Reset or something like that. It's the founder of the World Economic Forum. I'm reading his stuff. He's a total liberal / communist. He believes in a totally different political and social agenda as me. I'm willing to debate him, but you can't debate them. They're taking over. They're taking control of everything. They're telling you what they're doing, and then they're not allowing you to talk about it. All right, I'll read a few comments or questions if you guys have any, and then I'm gonna take off. Sorry, the comments are a little delayed, but I'll answer a few questions if you have any. That's my video tomorrow. I have a whole video on the military. It's already done because I have a good work ethic. So tomorrow, although, of course, there's going to be no monetization on it, and I'm sure eventually they'll just take more of my stuff. But tomorrow, yeah, I have a whole video on the military article. The whole thing is anonymous sourced. It's such a joke. These people are so evil. It's insane. They just never stop. Someone said Hungary just had its official Twitter page blocked due to going against the EU directives on lockdowns. Guys, this is a global communist effort to take over the whole world. This is communism. This is an ideology that are using sneaky tactics. You can't just tell people we're taking over your country. It's so obvious, and this is why they're gonna shut more stuff down, because anybody who dissents is going to be destroyed. They want total control. They already have total control. So, in general, they can't just go into Hungary and say, hey, we're going to take over, we're going to shut you down, we're going to close your businesses, we're going to funnel more of the traffic to corporations that we support. They can't do that. So they say, okay, well, here's the justification for why we're doing it. We're going to save lives. We're going to fight the pandemic. There's already data. There's no data on this planet that shows that locking down saves millions of people. Even Trump says it. Millions of people would have died. It's not true. It's not true. He said that in Sweden. Never was true. There is no data. The top 8 countries in deaths all had lockdowns. Lockdowns are not healthy. Elon Musk knows it. Hungary probably knows it. So they shut down their Twitter account for the crime of not wanting somebody to shut their country down. This is like modern day slavery. This is like modern day imprisonment. This is literally imprisonment. And you get banned for not wanting to be a prisoner. Every conspiracy theorist was right because they've been planning this for 30 years. And if you read their manifestos, if you read declassified documents, if you read what they say, everybody knew it because they planned it and they said it. It's like this never been a theory. It's been a theory, but it's been their theory that they wrote and published. And then if you say they're doing it, it's bad. They say they're doing it under the guise of climate change. We're doing all this because of climate change. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we have a little girl to say it for us, and if you disagree with her, you hate little girls. They hide their agenda behind other things because they can't just tell you what they're doing. Bernie Sanders is a communist, okay? Now that I read the Communist Manifesto, when I voted for him against Hillary, I had no idea about anything. I didn't know about taxes. I didn't know about politics. I didn't know anything. I had no idea what communism was. I read the Communist Manifesto. Bernie Sanders is a communist. He only calls himself a democratic socialist is because millions of people were killed by communism, and millions of Americans, especially like Cubans and Hispanics and a lot of people from Europe, ran away from socialism. So if Bernie Sanders came out and said, I'm a socialist, no one would like him. So he says, I'm a democratic socialist. He's a communist. His agenda lines up exactly what Karl Marx said. And if you go behind closed doors and you ask Trump, you say, Trump, are you a fascist? Are you a Nazi? Trump's going to say, no. 99% of right-wingers aren't fascists or Nazis. They're literally libertarians or conservatives. Most socialists behind closed doors are communists. They just don't want to tell people. If you go to most socialists and say, what do you think of Karl Marx? Most of them are going to say, yeah, he was a good guy. Yeah, I agree with him. I mean, yeah, that's what we're trying to do. Most of them are communists. If you go to 9 out of 10 right-wingers who support Trump and say, what do you think of Hitler? What do you think of Nazis? What do you think of Mussolini and fascists? Most Trump supporters are going to say, I don't like the guy. I don't like him. I think he was a bad guy. So if you want to talk about, they say, oh, you're Nazis and fascists. Most Trump supporters don't agree with any of that. Most socialists agree with communism. They just won't say it. So all this stuff they're doing, abolishing private property, it's communism. A progressive wealth tax, it's a communism. Take over the media, it's communism. Take over the banks, it's communism. They've already done that. They've taken over the banks. The media is completely taken over. And once you take over the banks, the rest is pretty easy. So that's why they don't want you to talk about banking and media, because people own the banks and the media. And once you own the banks and the media, you control the minds of the masses and you control the money of the masses. Once you control the money, you can get the media. Once you control the media, you control the minds. Once you have the money and the minds, the rest is pretty easy. So once you can, and look at the tech companies. Who owns the tech companies? So media, social media, this is all part of a communist plan. And now that they have power of everything, they can slowly destroy the country. Because even with Trump in office, he doesn't control California, he doesn't control New Jersey, he doesn't control the airlines, he doesn't control the NBA, he doesn't control Facebook. So it's an easy takeover at this point. They have everything. They don't even need Trump to leave. They just need to slowly close the walls on everybody. But he's a fighter. God bless the president. That's why people don't get the dynamic of this next election. It's a pretty big deal. But we'll see what happens. Am I moving to a different platform? No. I'm still on YouTube. I'm still going to post here. I'm just going to here's what you could do. If you have a company and you want advertisement, you could email me and maybe I can advertise. Maybe I can put my own ads in my own videos. That's a possibility. But I'll figure out another way to make money. It's fine. I'm not going to not post. I'm getting like 5 million views a week. So to me, the most valuable part of this is the reach. You know, it's how many people are seeing it. I'm forever grateful for that. But obviously, if you come home from work one day and you have a great paying job and they tell you you're not making any money, you'd be pretty disappointed. So imagine having to work for free. I'll do it. I've done it for most of my life. But as soon as I started making too much money, they just took it all away. So I'll still make videos. I'm not going to stop, but it's pretty big buzzkill. I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to say, where's the benefit in destroying the world? There is no benefit, but here's the thing. There's two options. I've come to the conclusion, because I've studied history and the fact that this seems to repeat itself, there's two options. One, it's the devil at work. So the devil is just evil, and, that's one thing. Well, actually, three options, I'm going to say. One, it's just straight satanic. It's just straight devil, evil people. The second option is some people are just out of control. Like, for instance, if you have a friend who's like a heroin addict, does he want to kill himself? Probably not, but is he just out of control? He's so addicted to being like a psycho that he can't stop. It's a possibility. So I think in some part, I think these people are aimless. I think they think they're doing something benefiting themselves, but they're so selfish and so evil that it always backfires. And if you look through our history, it's backfired every single time they've tried, because it's an evil, sick thing, but they never learn their lesson, and they just keep doing the same thing on loop and blaming everybody else. So maybe they're just really stupid or really evil, and they can't even see how dumb their plans are, and it always backfires. Or the third thing is, I think, if you really study the ideology driving this, not just behind communism, we could talk about communism, but communism is what Karl Marx told you he thought for the working people and for stupid people. If you really want to know what Karl Marx thinks and his real ideology and what's really behind that, I think they want to enslave the world. I think there's a certain group of people who see everybody else as below them and lesser, and they think that their job is to serve them. So there's a certain ideology on this planet where they say, those are not us. They should all be serving us like slaves or animals, and we're going to be at the top of the pyramid. That's why they don't want you to say that, because it's written. It's another thing. It's like, anomaly, that's hate speech. It's like, they wrote it. It's all written. If you're smart enough or research enough or open-minded enough to find it, you can find it. So it's not a coincidence. So either really evil, really stupid and evil, or secretly evil and going to eventually be successful and literally enslave everyone, or have everybody literally like working for them. Nate said you won't send me notifications. I can't help Facebook, sorry. I guess all three of my things were all evil, but watching from, what is that? I'm not sure what that flag is, but someone said, Olivia said, are you not getting money from subscriptions? No, they said they canceled it, but I'm reaching out to Facebook. Let me email them. I would say for supporters, give me a week before you cancel it, but if they answer me, you could just cancel it, or they'll probably refund you. I can't imagine that this is going to stand. I mean, I can imagine it, but I'm reaching out to their team. Just give me like 2 days, and such a joke. I'm looking at it now. I'm going to request a review, and then I'm going to talk to their team. If they don't answer in a week or something, I'll tell you guys, and you could just cancel your fan subscriptions. Because yeah, as of what they posted, it said I can't make any. All my fan subscription money's gone, or I don't know what they're doing. These people are psychotic. They better pay me from last month, because I've been crushing. So they better pay the money they owe me. That's what they do sometimes. They steal your money, and then they literally backtrack and steal money you've already like earned. Hopefully they don't do that, but I don't know. I'm going to seek legal counsel. These people are insane. I don't even care anymore. Someone said, I wish I knew how to fight it. I mean, I don't know. Buying land somewhere, or at least having the option to go somewhere away from a city, seems like a good idea. so they get the money. Olivia, I'll let you know. I'm reaching out to their team, and they're usually pretty responsive. So I'll let you know. I'll let you know as soon as I know. I'm gonna request a review. There's a way to request a review. I'm gonna email them. I'll let you know within a week. If they don't give me a straight answer, I'll just tell everyone to cancel the fan subscriptions, because I don't know. What it says on my end is everything's canceled. Stars. See, usually when I go live, you could tip me. That's gone. You could see that. I don't know about the fan thing. They'll probably refund you if they take away the fan thing. Someone said, why are they not allowing you to get paid? Free market? It's not a free market, guys. This country is totally has been conquered. There's no such thing as a free market. Maybe Trump can put the free market on, but this whole year has been a flex of communism. We own everything. We control everything. Bow down. Get in your house. We're stealing all your money. Just be a slave. That was this year. So there is no free market. Do we need to set out an outside fund for a legal rep? No, I'm good. I'm fine for now. The donor box, the Patreon, everything's fine. I'll figure it out. I'll let you know. If I need legal money, it's fine. But I don't know. You get what I'm saying? I see people raise all this money. They raise hundreds of thousands of dollars to run for Congress, and then they lose. It's like, what a waste of money. You get what I'm saying? I'm not a politician. If I'm going to raise $100,000, I might as well keep it. I'm not saying I need all that right now, but it's like, I'm going to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars and waste everybody's money and give it to a lawyer. I don't want to do that. Hopefully I can get counsel, but to me, it's like at that point, I'd be smarter to just keep it. And I wouldn't raise it for a lawyer and keep it, but I'm just saying, like, as far as Patreon and donor bucks, I just feel sick having to spend hundreds of thousands, raise money to give it to a lawyer. That sounds terrible. I mean, I'm sure I guess that's what people do, but I'll try to figure out a way. I'll try to find someone who could represent me who believes in the case, but if not, I don't know. I'll explore my options. I'll let you know. It just happened, so I have no idea what I'm going to do, but something just sits with me wrong when, like, people, like, I work extremely hard, and it's not a competition, but it's like people who do nothing are just like, I'm running for, like, if I ran for Congress and I'm like, hey, I'm running for Congress, people would just give me millions of dollars, and that it's a waste. It's like, I'm running for Congress, give me all your money so I could run ads. Like, I don't even run ads right now. I just get millions of views like every day. So I don't want to be that person who just raises a bunch of money to, like, run for Congress or for a legal team. To me, I could make more money that way, but I don't know. It just seems like a waste. Like, just like millions of dollars, then you spend millions of dollars on ads. You're just like pouring money into advertisements or something. I don't know. I don't like spending money that much. Like, I spend money on things I need to spend money on, but I'm kind of frugal in a sense. I don't know. I don't want to spend all this money on lawyers or like advertisements. Do I think it's a possibility that Trump is one of them? Yeah, I do. I think it's a possibility. I think there's two options. I like Trump, but I think he could be one of them. But also, he could be powerless. He could have no power. Like, if you really understand who has all the power and you see what Trump's doing, he's completely beholden to the people who have all the power. He does everything they want him to do in certain senses. Like, there is no matter who wins office, certain people get their way no matter what. And Trump, as much as he's tried to do and as much as he did before the shutdown, they have, as Chuck Schumer said, 6 ways from Sunday from getting back at you. So, many things he's done has gone in favor of the elites. I've talked about it for 2 years. The anti-Semitism speech laws are not for your average Jewish person. They're not for my Jewish friends. They're probably not for any Jewish person who watches my live stream. They're not for Israelis. Israel's being locked down by their government. You think Israelis get support from the anti-Semitism speech laws? No, their government's locking them down just like Europe is locking them down. The anti-Semitism speech laws that Trump is passing are for the elites. They're for the bankers. They're for the media. They're for Soros. They're for people like Mike Wallace or Chris Wallace or both of them. These are not for the people. These are not First Amendment. So why else would Trump pass a law that basically eventually will make it illegal for you to question anybody from a certain ethnicity? How is that helping anybody? So he's totally beholden. Either he's part of them or he just has no power. They have so much power and control and money that he gets, and the GOP gets $100 million or something from Sheldon Adelson. And then Ben Shapiro says, you can't question dual loyalty. That's anti-Semitism. Sheldon Adelson has dual loyalty. It's not even debatable. He said it on camera. So when he gives $100 million to the GOP, what's he most interested in? Is he most interested in America? No, he's most interested in Israel. So Trump does things that people who are interested in Israel want him to do. So that's kind of how the game works. Does Trump have his own money? For sure. But the GOP gets a lot of money from Sheldon Adelson. And then people in the media like Ben Shapiro convince you that everything's anti-Semitic to say the truth. And here's the trap that we're in. Everybody else loses their money. He gets to be number one on Facebook and keep all his money. And if you talk about it, you're a hate speech monger and they need to take your bank account away. So we'll see what happens. Someone said it seems all politicians worship Israel. You have to, or else you're not going to be in politics. I mean, Ilhan Omar's maybe the exception, but she apologizes as soon as she says it as well because she has to. So for sure, AIPAC controls a lot of Congress. That's why if you say it, they call you an anti-Semite. The Israel lobby and Jewish billionaires who have huge stake in Israel and care about it just as much as America have so much power in politics, it's not even funny. That's why if you say that, they try to shut you down and they put up hate speech laws to stop you from saying it. And even Ben Shapiro tries to stop you from saying it. It's not because it's not true. It's not because it's hateful. It's not because it's racist. It's not because it's anti-Semitic. It's because it's true and they don't want you to notice or say it or think it or have the free speech and same right to say the truth that they have. Or they're allowed to lie, but you can't say the truth. So these are the games that they play. It's not even hateful to say. It's just factual. It's like trying to say that China has no factories. It's like China has a lot of factories. It's like saying Amazon has no power. No, Amazon has a lot of power. They own Whole Foods. They deliver a lot of stuff. It's just something that's obvious. But if you even mention it, you get completely destroyed. Someone said Trump is doing everything he can. He has to fight half the world. Give him a break. I agree. I hear you. I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all. I say that every time, but I'm very fair. Even when I disagree, I just said even before, did you hear me blame Trump and say everything's Trump's fault? It's all his fault. He's the worst. No, I said I like him. I'm going to vote for him. He might not be able to do it. That's just what I said. But you freak out. You're like, give him a break. It's like, I just said what you said. I said he has I don't even know if it's possible to do it. He's trying his hardest, or he's seeming to try his hardest. It's not easy. I never said that. So it's like, you're freaking out over something I literally agree with you with. And I just said 2 minutes ago. So I said, try TikTok? No. Someone said, why didn't Trump condemn the white supremacists? Well, I mean, it's like a loaded question. What's he? Okay, I condemn them. He's already condemned them multiple times. They're trying to get a soundbite, which they did anyway, where it's like, I don't know, condemn the boogeyman. What have white supremacists done this year that have been so crazy? They bring up Charlottesville 3 years ago, which is a bunch of right-wingers that nobody even knows who went to an event who literally were going to just stand there and be weird if Black Lives Matter and Antifa didn't come. They came and they had a brawl and then somebody died. I'm not saying it's not the white guy's fault or whatever, but if Black Lives Matter and Antifa didn't even go to Charlottesville, none of that would have happened. And I don't even like the people of Charlottesville. I'm just saying they make it. It's like they're doing 99% of the chaos, 99% of the terrorism. Even at a white supremacist rally, it's them who cause all the chaos, and then somebody dies. And they blame Trump for 4 years. Why? Trump has nothing to do with Charlottesville. He doesn't know anybody there. 99% of those people he's already condemned. Why does he have to keep doing it? Even at that event, they never even accurately reported it. And now you have, in every city, them destroying everything. It's like, why? He's going to take it back to 3 years ago to an event that they never even properly reported just for a soundbite? I don't blame him. It's like, why? I don't know. Why doesn't he condemn Mike Wallace and Chris Wallace? He should condemn media supremacists and banking supremacists. Why doesn't he condemn the real supremacists who have all the power in this country and actively try to destroy and censor and silence and delete and murder innocent people? That's the real big threat. So it's like condemn Hispanic supremacists. It's like, what is that? Why? Do you notice they only talk about one thing? White supremacists, the KKK, the Democratic Party operation that's been defunct for 60 years and nobody's cared about. He needs to condemn the old Democratic Party operation, or like 20 neo-Nazis who sit in their basement or something, and white supremacists who just like do nothing. This is not like the biggest threat in the world. What about the Jewish supremacists like Mike Wallace and Chris Wallace, who get on television and lie, and their ethnicity controls most of the media and the banks, and then they write speech laws to say that you can't do it? Can we condemn Jewish supremacists? Can we make that? No, of course not, because they would freak out and call you an anti-Semite, steal all your money, destroy your bank account, and then kick you out of a job because they're already doing that. So where's the white supremacy? The fact that white people are getting discriminated against at work, the fact that literally the entire media is beating down on Europe and white people, is that the fact that you're the only ethnicity that can't like yourself and organize? That's supremacy? No, that's called they're trying to kill you, and Trump just doesn't feel like answering it. It's like, yeah, I'm going to blame a group of people who are doing 1/1000th of what you're doing, so you could frame the argument as if there's some sort of huge problem. I don't blame them. Someone said, why doesn't Democrats condemn Antifa and the violence? Because they support it. They like it. They want it. They want violence. They want terrorism. They want chaos. They want the anti-fascists to create fascism. They literally support all of it. It's not a big secret. Why won't Biden condemn Antifa? Because they don't care. They don't mind if their supporters destroy every major city. Like I said, even the one event 3 years ago that they talk about all the time, there would have been no violence if they didn't have counter-protesters acting psychotic. That's what happened at the event that they talk about 3 years ago. I don't even agree with the people at the Charlottesville rally, but if the left-wingers didn't show up and start harassing and freaking out and doing stupid shit, nothing would have happened. They would have sat there and been weird and then went home. That's what when left-wingers have a protest, no right-wingers care. We don't show up. Just go home. But they don't go home for 60 days and then somebody shows up and they say the right-wingers came. After 60 days of you guys destroying our communities, you destroyed my entire city. You burned down my coffee shop. You've literally destroyed entire blocks that I lived the last 3 years, and not a single Democratic politician condemns it. They all support it. They all want it. It's no secret. So why should I sit here and play a game? Oh, I condemn the supremacists. Yeah, I condemn liberal terrorists. I condemn liberal supremacists. I condemn the real supremacists who are operating our country right now and who are trying to blame everything on a race that they don't consider themselves. I condemn the opposite of what Martin Luther King or what Martin Luther King said. They're doing the opposite, which is I believe in the content of character. If I have a company, I'm not going to discriminate. If the best person's black, I'm going to hire him. If it's a white woman, I'm going to hire her. If it's a Hispanic man, I'm going to hire him. That's what I believe, content of character. I condemn their supremacy of discriminating against white people and Asians at work because they don't want them to be in tech, or they want to diversity, pay somebody $100,000 a year to replace white people with other ethnicities. That's racist. That's evil. This is who these people are. I condemn those supremacists, liberal supremacists, media supremacists, banking supremacists, terrorists. That's the top 7 threats in our country right now. White supremacy, where? Richard Spencer on Twitter with 70,000 followers. Nobody likes him. What impact is he having? White supremacists have no systemic power in the Republican Party. There's no white supremacy in any big factor. They destroy and remove any white Republican who even shows a speck of white supremacy, because they're all Zionist and they all work for Israel and they all prioritize Israel over America. So that's where the real supremacy is. That's why you can't say it, because that's what's running the Republican Party. It's not white supremacists, it's Zionist supremacists who have 20 times as much power in the Republican Party. Even in the white party, white people have no power. You have the power to get pushed to the side so they can find a black or a Hispanic person or a gay person to push Republican identity politics to fight against the left. You have the right to show up at your corporation and get replaced or blamed for slavery when you literally came from Poland and didn't do anything, or your parents were indentured servants from Ireland. That's what you have the right to. You have the supremacy to get replaced at your job simply because of your skin color, or not get hired because of your skin color. Meanwhile, the entire world beats down on you, and you have no power systemically. And to be honest, your ethnicity doesn't have any power either compared to other ethnicities. So that's why would Trump answer a question about that? That just gives them the high ground of like even making sense. It's like Chris Wallace knows exactly what he's doing. He's a total con artist. But the media has planted this in people's heads, just like they've distorted history in people's heads. This is all they do. They say the same thing a million times until people believe it, even though it's not even true. Oh, this is the big threat, because they told you that. Because the people with more power than white people told you to believe that a million times because they hate white people. How they say that other people hate them, that's who they hate. Do Republicans hate black people? I've known tens of thousands of Republicans through events and stuff. I've met black, Muslim. I don't know any Republican I've ever met that just viciously hates black people. I know every single liberal I know blames white people. They hate white people the way that they claim that the right hates them. It's all projection tactics. It's all lies. So the people in power are doing what they claim everyone else is doing. I'm not giving them the moral high ground. It's such a joke. And this is what they always do. When you tell the truth, they steal your money, and then they call you a racist or an anti-Semite when you want to feed your family. They're like, this anti-Semite doesn't want us to destroy the economy and just completely censor everybody on the media. This anti-Semite wants to not, us to not lie. It's like, just stop lying. Maybe anti-Semitism would go down if you don't lie all the time and steal people's money and censor the internet. Maybe that would help the cause. It's like, well, we need to censor more. We need to hurt more people. We need to destroy everything. We need to do this. We need to say that they can't say that we're funding both parties. We need to stop everybody from saying it. I mean, it'll go away if we just keep being evil. It's like, no, just stop being evil and people will stop being hateful. But you're the most hateful. So just stop. It's such a joke. Someone said the left is becoming more hateful each day. They're committing terrorism in the streets. They can't handle a conversation about the truth, a peaceful conversation about the truth, but they think they could just kill people and commit domestic terrorism and block streets and set stuff on fire, and that's okay. This is who we're dealing with. This is why I don't even mind saying this stuff anymore, because we're dealing with people who literally think it's okay to destroy stuff. If right-wingers were in the street destroying stuff, I would have said something. They're not doing that. If they do, I condemn it. The whole left wing, find 10 people who condemn what's going on in the street. They don't condemn it. They all support it. The media supports it. The left wingers support it. It's all fine with them. So this is what we're dealing with. I don't have the right to even make money and say the truth, but they have the right to literally attack me and block traffic and set things on fire. These are terrorists. These are evil devils. Someone said, you'll be in my prayers, we'll miss you. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just losing all my money. Someone said, the Democrats must hate their white families. Don't they realize what they're doing? It's evil. I agree. I mean, it's all brainwashed tactics to just scramble somebody's mind to the point where they just can't see right from wrong, true from false, good from evil. Someone said all the people that are going along with the violence should be held for treason. I mean, unfortunately, at this point, it's what's happening in this country right now could never have happened in the 20s or the 30s. They first psychologically demoralize your country. Yuri Bezmenov explains it even better than I can. But once you when your country's not demoralized, say 1930s America, people actually like America. And you could read writing from black people back then too and get a perspective of what was really happening, because how they teach in history is not even true. But in general, people like the country. So you could never do what they're doing. You could never do 1/8 of what they're doing. Bill Maher probably would have been tried for treason for saying he wants to destroy the economy. What? You want to destroy the economy? Just that would never have been able to be a statement in 1920. People came to America for a good economy. They've demoralized people. First, they just destroy your brain, destroy your soul, destroy your strength. That's why they want weak men and psychotic women. Once they demoralize a country successfully, which they've done, they waited until now, and then they throw everything at you. Because in the 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s or 60s or 70s or even 80s or even 90s or even probably 2000, none of this would be able to fly. But once they demoralize your kids and demoralize the adults and just brainwash everyone with mass media, now, when they do all this stuff, nobody cares. Now they've completely blurred the lines of reality where nothing matters anymore. Nothing's real. Nothing is above reproach, or nothing is too bad. It's all fine. And now they just keep loading up because they just shut down the whole world and justified terrorism, and they got away with it. So now what can't they get away with? This is decades of demoralization stacking up to this. Someone said I'm on a beach. I won't go out till you finish. All right. Well, I'm gonna stay for like 5-10 more minutes and then I'm out. Someone said I'm so tired for corruption being exposed and justice never being done about it. I hear you, but that's why Trump is a last-ditch effort. If he can't do it, clearly it doesn't look like anybody can. Joe Biden's not going to do it. Someone said, what's the best way to financially support you? I canceled my Facebook supporter page. Patreon or donor box works. Either one of those, the donor box or Patreon, whichever one's easier for you. I think those are fine. So if you want to do that, either one of those, I have the link pinned to the top. Someone said we need to stand up and say no. Absolutely. I'm reading the book. It's called COVID-19, like the Great Reset. The people at the World Economic Forum, they're planning a takeover, a liberal commie style takeover. And they know that the biggest threat to their takeover, and always was people like Trump, nationalism, but also people who stand up against it. So the fact that this year was so easy to do, that's not good. So for sure, it's going to take not just Trump, but everybody not waiting for Trump. That's my big problem with, people always ask me with the QAnon movement. Normally, what do you think about this? And it's like, I'm not a fan of it. I understand he posts things and people follow it and they do like little treasure hunts and they think they're going to arrest Oprah tomorrow or Ellen DeGeneres or something. It's cute and fun to like pretend like you're in a video game or something. But I get it. Like certain parts of it, I understand why people believe in it, and I'm not saying it's all fake. Like, obviously, human and child trafficking is a real thing. However, my biggest problem with it is everybody just sits on the sideline and think Trump's like a super wizard and he's going to save them. People are like, the lockdown's good. He's doing this tomorrow. He's not doing it. The election's in 2 months. He's done nothing. Durham is not going to even do anything before the election. You have to do something. So if it inspires you to like actually like stand up against tyranny to an extent and like not just be a total like sit on the sidelines type of person, that's fine. But just waiting for Trump to do everything is kind of selfish. It's going to take business owners like Ian Smith to say, I don't want to close my gym, or Bradley Martin in Los Angeles, or Shelley Luther in Texas. These are the heroes that are actually fighting the system, or the Tucker Carlson and Laura Ingraham when they hold Trump accountable for something that they don't think he's doing. That's how you resist. It's like, tell the GOP no. Not like secretly pretending like the GOP are like super wizards and, they're going to like, Mitch McConnell's going to like save your family or something. It's like, he might not. Eventually people are going to have to reject these Orwellian orders that they do. And there's got to be enough people making moves. Like, BitChute made their own YouTube. That's huge. I mean, everyone can't do that. I can't do that. If everyone did a little bit, though, that would help. I find it that millions of people just like wait and celebrate things every day is kind of creepy. They're like, Trump's rushing the vaccine. He really means hydroxychloroquine. Like, no, he doesn't. Like, it's like this game where everyone's playing. It's like that. To me, that's not good. You got to eventually do something. Someone said Pence-Harris will be a good debate. Yeah, Mike Pence is more calm. It'll be less funny, but probably more reasonable. That one was pretty ugly. Someone said it only proves how much they despise your truth. Yeah, it's fine. Thank you. All right, 5 more minutes, and I'm going to take off. Someone said, when are we going to see Clinton and Obama's heads roll? Probably never. I don't know. I mean, this was like people for years. They're like, hey, tomorrow Trump's going to arrest them. Tomorrow John Durham's going to secret tribunal. It's like literally the opposite happened. And nobody wanted to admit it all year. They're like, the lockdown's a secret way for Trump to arrest Oprah. It's like, no, that's literally not. It's like not Trump at all. Trump didn't do this. Like he didn't want this, or I don't think he wanted this. So it's like, this year, instead of like libertarians and conservatives being like, no, everyone was like, oh, this is going to happen tomorrow. And now it's like a month before the election. Obama, Clapper, Brennan, Hillary, Podesta, and anybody you name, Page, Strzok, nothing's happened to them. Not a single thing. They're all fine getting more money, getting jobs, getting gigs. And on the flip side, our country has been totally bamboozled. So this year was not like, oh, Trump's going to do it tomorrow before the... No, he's not. Maybe next term. Maybe not. If there is a next term. Someone said time to launch Anomaly TV. I still have my channel, so I'm still going to make videos. I'm not giving up this platform. This is what people don't understand, though. I'm going to start figuring out stuff like I did the hats and the book, but I'm still getting millions of views. Like to me, that's priceless. Obviously, I don't want to lose money, but I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up this reach. Like the fact that this has reached so many people, it's at the point where I can't even really go anywhere anymore without getting recognized, which is a beautiful thing. It means a lot of people are watching, and I'm forever grateful for that. More than not the fame or the attention, but the fact that the message has reached so many people. And I'm very, reflecting on it, I'm very happy, and I won't say proud, but I'm satisfied with the fact that I've worked hard, and I feel like I've done things that are better and more honest and more reasonable and more helpful than most people in media, if not everyone in media, and that has made such a huge impact on the world that it's bigger than the news. Like, to me, they can't take that away. I'm not going to get a Nobel Prize. I'm not going to get a Pulitzer, an Emmy, but the fact that I'm outperforming most major media on the biggest platform in human history and being so honest about it that they had to steal my money because I'm not on the side of the oppressor, that's huge. That's a medal that I'll keep to myself, and maybe I'll write it on a piece of paper. I'll say, top 10 biggest pages on the biggest social network in human history, 600 million views, outperforming most major media, and being so effective and honest and reasonable that they had to steal all your money on a fake premise of something that never even happened. That sounds like a good award. I'll write it and put it on the wall. So overall, that's fine. They could take my money. It does suck though. I kind of was hoping I could save up for another year. I knew they would take it eventually. I was hoping I can get like 6 months out of it. I was doing so well. I really wanted to save and buy land next year. I mean, I might still be able to, but I was like, man, I was just like a couple months away from having enough to like buy a house or something next year, or buy something. I don't own anything. I don't own a car. I don't own a house. I have nothing to my name. I don't even have health insurance. So, it would have been nice, but it's okay. I'll figure it out. I'll sell 1 million copies of my book or something. I fuel off the devil. The devil, when he attacks me, I just turn it into I flip it to the side and give it over to the Lord, Jesus Christ. So when the devil tries to hit me, I just fuel off his negativity in the sense of not like I agree with him, but it's like you attack me, then I get 10 times as strong. So, I'll figure it out. Now Now they've ticked me off. Now I'm going to sell 1 million copies of my book, or 1,000 copies, or 10,000 copies. I don't know. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to call them out for the deceptive little snakes they are, and it's going to sell. And then I'm going to, do something else and do 10 times what I did this time. So every time they shut me down, I get bigger. They already did this. They shut down my World Cloud page. They shut down my ad revenue on the World Cloud page. And then without a beat, I just flipped it over to the Anomaly page and started doing bigger numbers on Anomaly. Every time they've tried to steal my money, I've just doubled what I'm doing on the other end. So now I'm going to have to figure out a way to just totally flex on them. I'm not even remotely scared. I'm just annoyed and disappointed, but it's just going to fuel me. Maybe I'll drop an album. Maybe I'll drop a whole album where I diss Facebook on every song. Every song is going to be a Facebook diss. Did they even email me back? Or it's like they just do this stuff and then they never even email me. Let me see. All right, let's look. Let's see if they hit me back. Yeah, of course not. Of course, as soon as they do something like this, it's like nowhere to be found. They always answer me immediately until they steal all my money, and then they're like, "Oh, I don't know what happened." These are the new hats, though. This is the black hat, and then I have a pink hat. God is great. The pink hat and the black hat. Pink for the women or the strong, independent men who could wear pink. It's a good vibe. You'll like this hat. It's coming out tomorrow. Someone said, have you listened to Jordan Peterson and his view on the relationship between science and religion? I've listened to Jordan Peterson quite a bit. I'll check it out, but I don't know, man. He needs to... I'm not trying to be mean, but something doesn't sit right with me with Jordan Peterson. And no disrespect. I wish him the best. God bless him. But the fact that he was a clinical psychologist and he didn't understand that pharmacy pills were dangerous, like he was like, I had no idea. He had no idea that, like, how could you be a clinical psychologist and not know that? But it's okay. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, but I don't know. Even before he had that thing, I saw a video of him like telling people that it's okay to take pills like as a last ditch effort, and I'm like, I don't know about that, bro. So I'll check it out. But I like Jordan Peterson. I don't know. To me, that's a little red flag. Someone said I didn't see that hat when I ordered 3 this morning. It's not out yet. It's out tomorrow. I'm just giving you the exclusive. The God is great, made in America. I got a pink one and a black one. It's out tomorrow. Have you thought about a convo with Tim Pool? He probably won't want to talk to me because I called him a tricycle riding gremlin yesterday. So he probably doesn't want to talk to me. I only said it because he called Trump an asshole TV star. Like, I don't know. Him and Shapiro kind of annoy me. They're always like taking these jabs at Trump that make no sense. I talk about Trump, and I'll disagree with him. I'm not opposed to disagree with him. But when I disagree with Trump, I don't lie. I don't smear Trump. I don't call him a scumbag, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, he's a nice guy. He's working his hardest. He's funny. He can be a little, he can be a little arrogant sometimes, but I don't think he's really that arrogant. I think he's just strong, a strong man, and I like him. And I'll criticize him, but I'll be like, I'll be fair about it. I always see Ben Shapiro saying, Trump's a bad businessman. Shapiro called Trump a bad businessman. Like, he's always got to take these little jabs. He's like, man, I'm a bad businessman. It's like, no, Trump's a better businessman than you could ever be. And then it's like Tim Pool. He's like, Trump's an asshole loudmouth TV star. I'm like, Trump is not an asshole loudmouth TV star. Trump is an icon. He's the president of the United States. He's an American businessman. He's the founder of one of the first entrepreneur shows ever. An asshole like Tim Pool, little mini, gremlin tricycle riding 35-year-old boy, calling Trump an asshole TV man. I'm not going to make fun of Tim Pool, but it's like you make fun of my president and call our president an asshole loudmouth TV star. I'm going to call you a tricycle riding beanie wearing gremlin. So I don't make fun of people, but I don't like seeing Tim Pool badmouth our president in a disrespectful way when it's not even, it's like asshole loudmouth TV star. It's like, no, you're a tricycle riding, beanie wearing gremlin, and that's funnier than you calling him an asshole loudmouth TV star. And then Shapiro says he's a bad businessman. Like, who are these people? It's like, he's a bad businessman. It's like, no, he's not. He's a good businessman, and you're just a sneak. Someone said he was headed to bankruptcy. people that are successful don't, everybody successful knows you don't win 100% of the time. So if you make 100 companies and 20 of them succeed, that's good. That's fine. You know, like, not every song I've ever made was good. So if Trump failed with certain companies, that just means he's super ambitious and he wanted to spread his seed and try a lot of things. There's nothing wrong with that. And he's not an asshole loudmouth TV star. He's way more than that. He just had a TV show because he's cool and he could do whatever he wants. It's like, he an asshole TV star, loudmouth, hi, I'm Tim Pool. It's like, get back on your tricycle, ride to the gym, and stop, bro. Tired of these people disrespecting my president. This comes from me. I don't like what he did during COVID. I disagree with the president all the time, but I try to be fair and reasonable about it. I don't just like smear him so I can get a bunch of retweets. It's like, and act like I'm middle of the road. No, F these people. Excuse me. So yeah, there goes me on Tim Pool. He probably won't want to have me on, but just stop being rude to the president. Someone said Trump can disrespect everybody and act like an a-hole, but you don't think he's one? I don't get it. I mean, I don't know. I guess if you want to call him an asshole loudmouth TV star, you can, but then I could call you something, I guess. I mean, he's definitely hilarious. I don't know. I think he's funny. I definitely think he could be rude to other people, but I don't know. I've yet to see him. I guess he was a little rude to Thomas Massey. He can be a little bit of an asshole, but I don't know. I thought it was funny. Someone said Tim Pool is a Democrat. I never would have thought he declared his vote for Trump, but he did. Not everyone is full-seated on the Trump train. I take it with a grain of salt. No, I know. That's good. I hear it. I mean, you know, Trump can't always defend himself, so, you know, I made a comment. He made a comment. It's all good. Someone said that The Apprentice was a huge show. It really ticks me off, too, because I come from a family, like, my family's not very business savvy or lawyer savvy. Watching The Apprentice as a kid, it taught me how to be an entrepreneur. It inspired me to be an entrepreneur. I love the show Apprentice. So I take it personally. I won't say take it personally, but like when Tim Pool or the media is like, he's an asshole, now my TV star. It's like, no, his show was not a reality show. That he called him a reality show host. It's The Apprentice was an entrepreneur show. It taught millions of people like me that didn't have family that was into business how to be a businessman. I'd never heard this stuff. The Apprentice taught me more than school did about how to do business. School doesn't teach that. So this idea that he's just a reality show star has always been a smear tactic. The Apprentice is one of the realest and most important reality shows ever, because it's not just Flava Flav like trying to have sex with like 20 women out of his league, or maybe not out of his league because he's Flava Flav. I guess he could probably get whoever he wants, but you know, it was actually like teaching somebody a skill in life that probably helped millions of people, even myself. It helped me with entrepreneurship and business. So this idea that he's just some reality show schmuck, no, he's one of the most successful developers and builders in modern history. And then he also was an outspoken political voice, and he's an American. And then later in his career, he not just started a reality show, but an entrepreneur show that literally brought business into the households of millions of people, probably one of the healthiest shows to watch. And then Marxist Cuban, little sneaky Mark Cuban, then Mark Cuban copies him with Shark Tank. Shark Tank is a total copy of The Apprentice. It's a little bit different, but there would be no Shark Tank if there was no Apprentice. Mark Cuban didn't make it up. He saw The Apprentice and got inspired. And then he turns around and hates on Trump. It's like, respect your father, respect your daddy, okay? It's like, respect the person who paved the way for you. So I don't like when people call him a reality show asshole TV star loudmouth. It's like, get on your tricycle, go to Ben Shapiro's house, and you guys can, hey, he's an asshole TV star. He's a good businessman. He's not just a reality show star, and his show was important. It's like, I'm tired of the media, and I don't care. He was a Democrat, now he likes Trump. I don't care. Just stop. Leave my boy Trump alone. If you're gonna talk about him, just be right. Don't be wrong. I don't know. Marxist Cuban is just like, it's like, we get it. You're sneaky, okay? We get it. You're a liar. You hate America. You're a Marxist. We get it. Someone said the vaccine's going to have a microchip in it. I don't think, here's what I'm going to say, guys. They don't need to put a microchip in a vaccine. Your cell phone tracks you all the time. If you talk in a text, I got an ad for something I texted my friend 5 seconds after I texted it, because they don't need to put a microchip in a vaccine. You're carrying a microchip around everywhere you go. They know where you're at. They know where you live. They know your address. They have everything. They don't need to make a vaccine with a microchip in it. There's no strategy to that. You carry with you 24/7 a tracking device with 2 cameras on the front and on the back. They can see you whenever they want. They can hear you whenever they want. They can track you whenever they want. There's no secret to who you are, where you're at, what you like. They have all your data on every social media company. They don't need to put a tracking device in you. It's stuff like this. Is it possible? It's possible, but it's things like this people get so dragged away, like they don't need to do that. Why would they need to do that? They have everything. All your stuff, they're constantly tracking you. It would be so counterproductive to even do that. They don't need to do that. But that's not to say they're not doing it already. It's just they don't need to put it inside of you. You have something that's better than that on you. Because even a tracking device in you wouldn't be able to hear you. It wouldn't be able to watch you. You have worse than that carrying around with you constantly. I'm going to read this real quick. Augie said, what's up? Augie said, The Apprentice taught me how to manage better and have self-confidence. The only reality show I ever watched. It's the best reality show ever. It's the most helpful, the healthiest, the most inspiring, and it teaches you things. Like, that was revolutionary at the time. You really didn't have any shows so it's like, I like to tell Trump's true history. Like, everybody wants to smear him. You're this, you're that. No, that's not who he is. It's like, he's not an asshole, loudmouth reality show star. Like, that's a total smear. That's like, you might as well work for New York Times. I don't care that he was a former Democrat. I don't care that he likes Trump. I don't care. It's like, just stop smearing everybody. Stop lying about everybody. And even when I disagree with Trump, like on the COVID stuff, even if I suggest he could possibly be part of the cabal, I still give him the benefit of the doubt. You don't hear me being, he's just an asshole. No, he's trying his best, I think. I couldn't do what he does. So if I'm going to be a sideline quarterback, I'm going to be fair about it. I'd be like, listen, I could never do what he's doing right now. It's insane. He has to be, like, he interrupted too much probably, but I don't know. At the same time, like, he's him. He's hilarious, and that's what he decided to do. I think you got to be fair with the guy and not just smear him while the media's smearing him. But I don't agree with like 20 things he did, but I'm not going to attack him personally. I'll just be like, I don't agree with it, but I think he's trying. Sorry, it's okay, Amanda. It's all good. I don't care. I'm gonna end the live stream, and I'll just do a recap for people who just came in, and then I'm out. All right, so for a recap for people who just came in, I logged into my Facebook backend today, and I got the message that my page is being restricted from almost everything. I'm being restricted from fan subscriptions, I'm being restricted from ad revenue, and I'm being restricted from stars on my live stream, which is getting paid during the live stream. They're pretty much axing most of my revenue, and when it comes to everything that I'm doing, they're taking most of my money. Because of the hats now, I'll be okay, but overall, they're taking a huge part of my income away, and the reason is because they said I had too many fact checkers on my video, even though they can't point to a single one that was right or a single one that was even accurate to what I said in my video, because they weren't, and I made a bunch of videos on them, and I'll probably post it after this. So they're stealing all my money. That's fine. But I just want to reflect on this before I leave, because I could sit here and be angry and upset and mad, but I'm actually grateful. I'm grateful for the fact that in this era of so much deception, of so many lies, of so much control and power grabs and so much tyranny and so much corruption, that I was able, on the biggest social platform in human history, which is Facebook, I was able to outperform many days with my links and videos, New York Times, Washington Post, the President of the United States. I mean, you look at my numbers and Trump's numbers sometimes, I'm doing bigger numbers than he is on most posts. And that's been confirmed by the top 10 analytics that Facebook's been releasing from the back end, where I'm routinely on it. And I'll probably be on it today for my Elon Musk post yesterday that got a lot of shares. So I'm grateful that in this age, I've been able to get a message that's more honest, more accurate, more real, more fair, and just better than most of the mainstream media when they lie and work for the devil. And amongst all odds, amongst all backlash, amongst demonetizations, amongst lies, amongst live stream canceling, I've still gotten 600 million views. I've still planted that seed of truth and love and understanding in the minds and hearts of and souls of millions of people. And that's something they can never take away from me, no matter how hard I try. So as I get more powerful and more blessed and more grateful, they just get more evil. And the devil is a lie. God is the truth. So I'll figure out ways to, work around that. I'm not really even that worried about it. It's disappointing. It's going to be way more money than you want to even understand. But that's okay. I'm not going to let it get me down. It's not going to stop me. My video is still coming out tomorrow about Biden and the military. And, I just want these demons to know how evil they are and call them out by their name. And hopefully they rescind it. But if not, I'm not going anywhere. I'm writing a book. These hats on dreamrare.com. I'm going to start selling even more hats now. I'm going to become a full-time hat salesman, I guess, because it's the only way I can make money. And, I'll post it on BitChute, YouTube, and it is what it is. I mean, I'm ready. I know who they are. I know what they're doing. I'm not going to sit here and lie and act surprised. I'm not surprised. I know who these people are. I know what they're about. I know that they want total control. I know that they lie. I know that they censor. I know that they're jealous. I know that, they work for USA Today and Facebook, and their existence means nothing because they hate themselves. They're the racists. They hate people specifically because of their skin color. They lie. They're completely intolerant. They probably can't sleep at night because they're so gross internally. And they look at my videos and be like, wow, I could never do that. I could never get that many views. I'm jealous. So, I almost feel bad. Maybe I'll make an online tutorial and I'll try to coach them for how not to be such demons. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll make an online course to make money and be like, here's how to not work for the devil, and that'll be for these media losers. And then I'll make one for people, maybe like social media marketing or something, and give them some tips so then maybe they can get the devil out of their heart and stop being such degenerate losers. We'll see what happens. God bless you guys. God bless your family. God bless America. God bless the world. If you'd like to support, I have a Patreon. I have a donor box. I have the hats. Thanks to you guys, I've never been that worried because I know that people will show love and support. And the best, I won't say the best way, but the best way for you to support is something that's mutual. If you buy a hat or a shirt, you get a hat or a shirt. So it's like, at least you have something. And the other ones work too. But if not, no worries. Sometimes people say this and that. I'm fine. I'll be fine. I'm 30 years old. Luckily, I'm still somewhat young. And I have so much fight in me. They would have to demonetize me 100 times. I'd get up 101 times. So I'm ready. I see it as another hurdle. So I'm ready to just now times 30 what I was doing and just completely embarrass them. So it's all good. God bless you guys. Appreciate you. I'll be back soon.